I really hate that women are so desperate for love, and it's because we've been fed this dream and this fantasy and this fairy tale that we are supposed to be rescued by our Prince Charming and live in the white picket fence in the house and get married and have the kids, and that's like the life. We've been imagining our wedding since we were kids, young women, like young girls. Like, so when you grow up, that's literally what you're searching for. And what makes it so annoying to me is that men hold the power to not be nothing. But there will always be a woman with open arms. Like, the lowest of low men can get a woman. The lowest of low men can get a woman because women are so desperate for love. A man without a job, no problem. I'll pay the bills. You live with your mom, no problem. You can stay over at my house. You drive a beat up, busted truck, no problem. We could just take my car. It's always a way through it. It's like they don't have to work hard because somewhere there's a lonely woman with her arms wide open, waiting for a man of any caliber to run into them. Like, somewhere, like, men cannot lose.
I don't like makeup. I'm against makeup. I don't think it's good for women, and I don't think they really need to be using it, honestly. I think it takes away.
That's awesome.
Makeup it's capitalizing on women's insecurities when it's something that they can easily fix. I think it takes away from a woman's natural beauty, and also it is so bad for you. Like, you think about how skin absorbs things. When you read the ingredients on a foundation bottle, what is in it? You can't even pronounce it. It's a bunch of crap that you're putting on your face. And that is in turn making your skin worse. So you have to keep buying more foundation to cover up what it's creating.
Recently, I caught up with an old friend, and she was telling me that she got divorced. And I was so surprised because her and her husband were such a cute couple, and they had been together for 11 years. So I asked her, like, what happened? I figured something bad happened. She's like, honestly, I was just bored. Like, my husband, all he did was work. I was a stay-at-home mom. We had 3 kids, and I just
it's her friend, not
got
her.
lonely and bored. And she says that when she would bring it up, like, he would take her out, but it was just boring to her. Like, she needed some excitement in her life. She just felt like she was just a mom and a wife, and her husband just wasn't doing that for her. And she had other friends that had, boyfriends, or like they had just got married, and they were always going out, always going on vacation, always partying, like going to the club, going to the bar, hanging out with friends, and they did none of that. And when she would bring it up to her husband would always tell her, like, I gotta work. Like, they had a big house, they had nice things. Like, he was just trying to work. So they ended up getting divorced. And now, she's single, she lives alone, she's working, and she's dating. So then I told her, oh, well, that must be exciting, like dating and stuff. And she's like, no, I hate it. And I was like, why? And she's like, because all they want to do is just have fun.
We can't win.
They just want to go to the club. They just want to go to the bar. They just want to hang out, have a good time, and then that's it. She said no one wants to help me out. Like, I'm trying to find someone that's going to help take care of my kids. She's like, I just want someone to be a provider, not just a good time. So I was all like, well, wasn't that what your husband was doing? And she's like, I know. And I guess now her ex-husband is dating someone, like, seriously. They have been divorced for a total of 3 years, and he has been dating this girl for 2 years. She has 2 kids, and they're already living together. She says that he's fully taking care of her. Like, the girl doesn't work, she's a stay-at-home mom. They haven't had any new kids, but they're planning on having kids. And she's pissed because she's like, how can he move on so fast? Like, I can't even find nobody, and he just found someone so quick.
All right, this may be the best takedown of core feminist ideology I have ever seen. Check this out.
Can I ask you a question, Stephen? Would you take a 3-year career break? Would you be able to do that?
To solely raise children, I would not want to.
You would struggle. And the thing is that no one is judging Stephen for saying that. But if I said just couldn't do it, people would be like,
But men and women are different. Stephen could say other things which would have people's jaws on the floor. Like, I don't want to financially support my wife and child. I think people would be quite shocked by that. I mean, we just have different expectations from mothers and fathers.
It was a study that was done where fathers and mothers lay in bed together. When the baby cried, almost nearly every time the mother woke up in the middle of the night to the baby's cries and the father slept through it. When there was a rustling of leaves outside the window, the fathers woke up and the mother slept through it because of the predatorial threat.
All right, so you guys see the trick? She compares men's privileges to women's responsibility. That is the trick that works over and over again. And what these women did to counter that was they were comparing women's responsibilities with men's responsibilities. And then all of a sudden you see this magical reality emerge, which is we are actually a team. Men and women were designed to build families together, and we are very different. And comparing women's responsibilities with men's privileges is always going to stir up resentment. And resentment is the key to destroying the family and destroying marriages. And so the only way you can come out of resentment is to correctly understand that we need to compare, if we're going to compare, men's responsibilities with women's responsibilities and men's privileges with women's privileges. And we'll see that they are roughly equal and that we were designed to work together.
During the Me Too era, the message was clear. Don't approach me. Don't talk to me. Don't message me. Just leave me alone. And guess what? Men actually did. They stopped approaching. They stopped chasing. They stopped risking rejection or cancellation just to say hi, just to give you a compliment. Now the data's showing it. A new national survey found singles only went on about 1.7 dates in person in the entire year. Men averaged about 2, women just 1.5. And over half of all singles spent nothing, $0 on dating last year. Now here's the twist. Women save more money when they're in relationships because most of the time the man's covering the dates, the bills, the lifestyles, or at least, splitting it, right? But men are saving more than ever by staying single. No dinner, no dates, no gifts, no stress, just peace and a heavier wallet. But now the same women who said, leave me alone, are starting to complain that men don't approach them anymore. It's like you got what you asked for, but didn't like the results. So what do you think? Is this independence or loneliness in disguise?
The male loneliness epidemic is all your fault.
Okay, then.
It's nothing to do with the women.
Well, no. Why would it?
We try our best to talk to you guys and be in crowds where you guys are at, and you don't try. There's zero effort given from the male side. And it's just
Sure about that? Because, wait, there's this.
I really am so confused on why these guys think like they have chances when we're literally just being nice.
Ooh, that's just awkward.
Like, there is any difference between being nice and flirting.
Well, that's true. There is a big difference between being nice to someone and flirting with them. However, some women out there should bear in mind that a lot of men out there have never experienced a woman genuinely being nice to them, unless, of course, they want something.
Being nice to you does not mean that I like you.
Indeed.
We're at the bar talking to these guys. There was no flirting, but at the end of the night, they asked for our numbers.
I mean, yes, we're gonna give you our numbers so we can hang out again and be friends.
Yeah, let's be friends.
Wait, I thought they didn't like them, but they're still giving them their number so they can be friends? Can anyone understand how a lot of guys out there would be very confused?
Like, it definitely felt more than that, and that's where I'm confused because we were just being nice because they tried having a conversation with us.
Yeah, I can see why a lot of guys out there are choosing to remain single if this is what they have to deal with. Yeah, ladies, they're not lonely. They're choosing peace.
If you feel like the woman is letting herself go, ask yourself, am I loving her correctly to the point that she wants to show up as her best self? Sometimes it's not your man doing anything wrong. We deal with a lot of mental stuff. I need you to come and fight for me. Keep me safe from myself so much that I don't get to attack myself.
She said we gotta help her from fighting herself. So if you don't know what's wrong with you, how am I supposed to help you? Women need to wake up and at least hold themselves accountable. This experience that they speak of, that you're gonna just make them feel so magical when they don't know what's wrong with them that you have to go find out what it is. So they're gonna blame you for everything. They want to be respected as adults but treated like children.
I done been with a man that showed me off, and I done been with a man that didn't show me off. And I will be the first to say I would prefer the man that didn't show me off, for the simple fact is he protected the relationship. He made sure I ain't play by me, he ain't play by me, and the people around me didn't play by me. I don't give about that social media. I don't even be knowing y'all. So you putting me on social media to tell the world how much you really love me when I need to be the one to know that you love me? Y'all can have that commercial. And then you around and tag me in a post, talk about you apologize for cheating and you hope I take you back. Delete it before I do something to you and your whole family.
You know, and once again, we need to start placing accountability on these modern women. You know, they always want to talk about, well, there's, you know, we were sold this fantasy and this dream about wanting to be married and a knight in shining armor and a white picket fence. True enough. And so we yearn for that. We want that. And because we want that so bad, there's always some poor, unsuspecting woman who has all the money in the world and decides to take care of a scrub. She's lonely and she's desperate. Why is she lonely and why is she desperate? What are the conditions that led to that? Now, it's true that it could be that she had a man and the man was terrible. He was a terrible man. That's true. But it also might be the case that she made some decisions in her life that led her to being where she is today. And so now maybe she got a couple kids, or maybe she dated Chad or Tyrone a few too many times. She's now got to settle for what she's been given. Or you can be alone if you wanted to. But a lot of times these modern women don't want to be alone because they're emotionally unstable. They're emotionally unstable. The man is the problem for the man is a problem, a huge problem for sure. But if we're going to give him 50-60% of the blame, we also have to start giving her 40 to 50% of the blame. But of course, once again, with modern women, accountability.
I wish women really understood nowadays how horrible we present ourselves on social media and publicly when it comes to conversations about money and men making money. It blows my mind whenever I come across a post on social media of a woman who announces her pregnancy and she's pregnant by like a rapper, like a pro athlete or something. And there are thousands of comments from women under that post saying, God, please, when is it going to be my turn? Lord, please send me my millionaire. There are whole pages on TikTok and Instagram dedicated to teaching women how to sniff out millionaires and how to sniff out men with money. I just want to know, how did we get to this place collectively as women? Not, Lord, please send me a man of values, a man of morals, a man of integrity, a man who will commit himself to me, a man who will love me, honor me, respect me, a man who will be a good example for my children, a man who will lead my family properly. No. Just send me a man who's a millionaire and I'm gonna figure the rest out on the back end. Imagine being a good man. Imagine being one of the men that I just described. A man who wants to find a wife, a man who is all of those things. And you go on social media and you're scrolling through the comments and this is what you see. This is what you have to choose from. This is what you see the mindset of modern women as. And then one of the most ridiculous responses to this that I've seen whenever women are challenged on these things, the response is always, well, half of the men who are worrying about it, they're broke anyway. They won't have to worry about a woman trying to use them for their money because they don't have any. That is not the point, sweetie. That's not the point. Your mentality as a woman, especially a woman who is considering having children or who has children, should not be financial status first, integrity, character second. It is so sad to me how the modern dating market and the overall tone of the modern dating market is that of entitlement and what's in it for me. People place way too much emphasis on financial status. And there's nothing wrong with wanting a partner who is financially stable. There's nothing wrong with wanting security. But when you are placing monetary gain over the very fabric of what a relationship is and a family foundation is supposed to be, you have got things very wrong. And you really need to check yourself.
99.9% of men cannot afford financially to sometimes pay 100% of everything. And that does not mean that he is not a man. You are in the top 1%, sir, okay? So I'm not saying to allow any lazy bum in your household without contributing financially, but what I am going to say is people have to get away from a lot of the social media gurus, and you got to do what works for your household.
Facts.
Because this man is in the top 1%. He's in the top 1%. And if you run across a rich man like this who can 100% provide for you, I'm here for it. But however, don't pass up the man that can only pay 80% of the bills. You have to do what works for your household. And guess what? It's more to providing than just financially. Because let's just say he pay 100% of the bills, but he's not available emotionally. Let's just say he pay 100% of the bills financially, and he treats your kids like.
Man, this is the Nothing But the Truth live podcast.
It was so nice to meet you.
It was so nice to meet you too.
Yeah, maybe we'll do this again.
Bye-bye. 3 science-backed problems with this sort of passive-aggressive approach. I'm Max Butterfield, Dr. Max Butterfield. I study this kind of thing for a living. Number 1, it signals controlling and coercive behavior. That is not something you want in a partner. Number 2, this kind of passive-aggressive approach signals hostility and contempt. That is the number 1 predictor of divorce, according to the foremost researcher on relationships and marriage satisfaction, John Gottman. Look it up. Number 3, this sort of passive-aggressive approach shows a chronic lack of reciprocity. That is not something you want in a relationship. If you don't have give and take, back and forth, 50-50 equity, you're in big trouble, buddy. If you're sick of the noise from the influencers, tired of the hot takes, follow me for daily science-backed reels or click on the link in my bio for free guides and more.
There should not be no-fault divorce. And here's what's interesting about modern day feminism. They want equality everywhere but in the court. Isn't that interesting?
That is very interesting.
Right. They don't want equality in the court system. So I think that's funny that they want all this equality, but they still want alimony. They still want child support. They still want half of the man's assets. But if it's equal, what we bring in is what we take out. We split the children 50-50. Like 50%, 1 week your week, 1 week my week, but they don't want that. So I think that's really interesting that, like I said, they don't want to be drafted for wars.
The standard for men just got raised. I went on a date last night. He's gonna see this, and that's what makes it all the more funny. I'm going on a girls trip in like 2 weeks for my birthday, and he was like, oh, what are you doing for your birthday? And I was like, oh, nothing, I'm going on a girls trip. And he was like, give me your phone. Takes my phone, opens my Venmo, scans my Venmo thing, and Venmos me $300 with the caption, so men don't buy you drinks in Miami. That is literally insane, but why do I love it?
Absolutely pathetic. Beta male of the week goes to whatever guy sent her $300. And it's so funny because I know he's gonna see this. I hope you see this video too. You piece of you. Traitor to man.
I told my husband I wanted a divorce. I walked myself through the logistics of where would I live, how would we split the time with the kids. He is the most self-disciplined, loyal, hardworking, good person. That is the reason why I have not left. The reason that pushed me to even bring up divorce and talk about it was the fact that I feel like I can't be myself with my husband. And it's really confusing because I'm 32 years old. I am a mom of 3. And I still don't know who I am.
Okay, I have to stop it here. You're not going to find yourself by breaking the most sacred vow that you've made to your husband and destroying your children's sense of stability and your marriage and your home this way. You're not going to find your true self that way. This is the me focus of our culture today. The way we understand ourselves in the end is by being in right order before God and other people. And if you're married, as this woman freely chose to get married and is married, as she's expressing in this video, then part of your identity is wife, and she's clearly mother. mother, part of your identity is mother. And you can live out your wife and being a mother in many different ways. Marriage is for life. You are married. You have made that promise. And so you are actually being untrue to yourself, violating yourself by rejecting your husband and rejecting your marriage and ultimately rejecting the family that you built together. And I'm speaking this out of love because she's about to destroy her life, her marriage, and harm her children and harm her relationship with God. Let's just pray for all marriages. They're under major attack today. God's way is always going to be better. We follow that path, we will discover the greatest meaning and joy and peace, and any other path that the world may be offering us is a lie.
Because you didn't tell me you had 4 kids.
Okay, and I was supposed to tell you that? I was supposed to tell you that right then when I just met you 2 days ago?
Yeah, you were supposed to tell me that. How you gonna lie?
I never lied, I just haven't told you yet. I have 4 kids, okay, so what's the problem?
You got 4 kids, there's 4 other mouths to feed. What's
Okay,
yours?
and so what? So are you not capable of taking care of us?
Yeah, I'm capable of taking care of them, but I don't want to. It's my choice.
So why did you feel like you needed to bring me to a date? You said that you would like the type of person that I am, so if that's the case, why is it that you don't want to go date me furthermore now?
I do like you. Like you cool, you fine. But you got 4 kids.
Okay, and?
Was you ever married?
No, I was not. I got 3 baby daddies.
Okay, but damn, you got 3 baby daddies? See, I know. No. Baby girl, I ain't got no problem. Listen, I like you. You cool. Man, listen, one baby daddy.
It's not even cool at this point. One baby daddy what? I don't have one baby, I have 3.
Okay, 1 kid. Okay, maybe you made a mistake. 2. You pushing it. 3? No.
That man is fighting for his life because you can tell that he really does like this woman. But he just keeps on getting slammed with worse and worse news. Honestly, that man is just disappointed because it is very disappointing when you meet somebody online and they're not completely open and honest about themselves having children. I don't think that's fair. And that is because it is a common, well-known deal breaker for some people, especially people that obviously don't have kids. Knowing that it's a common deal breaker for men and women, that is why that should be provided up front before one person puts in all of the time and effort into planning and paying for a date, which is, come on, always the man. Honestly, that man, you can tell, is not even mad. He's just really disappointed. He put in the time and effort, and he probably was pretty excited for this date. It seems like that she was a really cool girl. He seemed to be really into her, but you know, he has deal breakers, and kudos to him for standing by that.
I was too trusting of women. I believed that women was actually suffering, that women actually was victims. I come to realize that a lot of women like this pain. They choose this pain. They want to go through the things that they're going through. Women don't want to change. They don't want a better world. They just want men to do what they want them to do. They want men to change. Women don't want to change. Women just want men to change. Women just want to control men. And
I like the fact that she was talking about these modern women and how, well, there was one clip talking about how modern women really, they do things that put themselves, they really don't understand that they're doing things to put themselves out of position. And then when they're out of position, way out of position, like in the middle of nowhere, now they want to cry out, God, please help me. Where's my man? Your man was back on the island. They were back on the island where you started from. You just decided to say, nice to meet you, sir. You seem like a very nice man. I'm going to sail away. Maybe I can find an island elsewhere and I can build my own life. I'm just going to hopefully find a man out there. The island is empty. What do you think you're going to find out there? Well, we'll see. I know in this whole big old island, there's got to be a man. There are no men over there. We've already scouted. There are no men over there. Well, you know, I don't need that. Girl, you don't need a man. You don't need anything. Just go over there and build your own life. So these modern women, what they do is they go build their life on this island, have everything that they want, but then they have no man. So what they try to do at that point in time is go back over to the island where the man was that they actually needed and import him into their island and say, I'm the table. I'm the island, you see. So I just need you to be over here as basically on my program, a part of what I got going on. Don't worry, I already have everything set up on my island. I just want you to come be a part of it so you can be the missing link. Unfortunately for you, by the time you sail back across the river, that man, he too has already built his own island. And at that point in time, he might even have a woman on his island. That's how it goes for most modern women. They put themselves out of position. They sail away somewhere in a far land. They build their empire. And then when they're ready, they go and try to find the man that they should have been with 10 years ago, 10 years ago. And it don't work out. He done gone and done his own thing. He's not worried about you.
Harsh truth about women.
Just remember that broke women want men to take care of them because they can't take care of themselves. Remember that newly found religious women have just finished their hoe phase and now they want to settle down and use their manipulation through religion to control you. Insecure women want men that they can control, manipulate, and use. Broke women are always the loudest about men that can't provide because they cannot provide for themselves. Women who want nothing in a relationship lack ambition, which means she will like every single one of your dreams or ideas that you've ever had. Remember that women that want control, if you have children with them, will also control you through your children. A wounded woman is a woman looking for a father figure because she grew up either with a dad or fatherless. A woman who never respects you will always cheat on you, and there is no exception to this rule. Women that believe that men cannot bring peace, it's because they cannot bring peace themselves. So it actually makes them anxiety driven and insecure about their abilities to bring you peace. So she'll likely bring you chaos.
Can we please bring back men coming up to us? Why are you so scared? Why are you so scared of coming up to us? Genuinely, I don't I get it, rejection. Okay, I get it.
I'm gonna tell y'all what's going on. These women currently miss men approaching them. That's all it is. They miss men approaching them. They miss men doing nice things for them that men used to do. They miss men overall just simping on them. But instead of them just simply come out and say, hey, we miss y'all approaching us, and we will really appreciate for y'all to approach us again, they rather shame and manipulate y'all into doing what they want y'all to do. Their ego is too big for them to simply just say that they miss the fact that men are no longer approaching them. And the craziest thing about this is that even with all the back and forth going on between men and women, if women just simply come out and say, hey fellas, we miss y'all approaching us and we want y'all to approach us again, men will actually approach them. Because being soft and loving is a woman's superpower. But unfortunately right now, some of y'all are trying so hard to be like men that you are getting treated like men, and you do not like it.
I just saw the cutest guy in the coffee shop, Daily Drip, on McDowell Road. We had a moment. We literally looked at each other. Internet, do your thing.
The accuracy is so loud. Women will complain all day long that guys are no longer approaching them, yet this happens. She actually sees a guy that she's interested in and she makes eye contact with him. But only about 1% of women that are actually interested in a guy will approach them in person. And it's so painful to watch on social media when a woman gets on. Instead of having that moment in person, she actually has to blast it out to the public for their help. I just think that it goes to show how truly difficult it is to put yourself on the line and to approach somebody in person, which always makes me think of how that sort of pressure has always been on men. And so many women are out here saying how men are doing it wrong, or that they're not doing it enough, or they're not doing it at the right time, or they're not doing it with the right woman. But if you actually put yourself in their shoes, you would realize how truly difficult it is, and you would let up off them a little bit. And then then we could all have a little bit more empathy.
Here are some great reasons to why women should initiate. Women always talk about how they want those old-fashioned relationships. Well, women used to drop their handkerchief as a way of making a move on a man. He would grab that handkerchief off the ground and chase her down the street and be like, "Miss, you dropped this." And that would get the conversation going. So ladies, make the first move. Next, it's a sign of being confident and self-assured. You're okay with being potentially rejected. That's why you're making the move. It's also exhausting for men to make the first move all the time. So you're making things a lot easier for him, and he will appreciate that. No man is thinking you're easy for making the first move. And when you make the first move, it makes him easy to reciprocate. You can get effort returned right back to you. And last, but most important, there are a lot of shy men out there who are really intimidated by making the first move. And you might think, oh, well, I wouldn't want to date these guys anyways. Yeah, you probably do. A lot of these shy men are wonderful boyfriends. They just need a little bit of help. And if you're worried about cheating, if he doesn't make a first move on you, and he's so shy he can't make a first move on anybody, he's probably not gonna cheat on you. Just saying.
Women have been programmed to relate to men from desperation. Women don't realize that the way that they communicate and have relations with men is out of desperation. Most women feel like if they are getting something out of the interaction, like a transaction from the connection or relationship, that they are not acting out of desperation and they are not acting from a space of pick me energy. When in fact, whenever you have to make sure that you manipulate a situation to gain something from it, that is out of desperation. If you are finding yourself creating and manipulating situations in order to gain something from that person, then you are psychologically programmed to believe that you are not worthy of obtaining the very thing you're trying to manipulate your way into so that you can get something out of it, instead of applying the same mentality and energy into manipulating someone else and applying that same energy to yourself to obtain that which you think you lack. It is the lack of confidence that you have in yourself that is leading you to believe that you cannot obtain that which you seek in someone else.
So I was sitting here thinking, and I'm just like, what really is the reason why so many women can't find a good man? Like, it has to be something. And then it dawned on me. I'm like, oh my God, it makes so much sense. That's what it is. So we as women don't understand that a lot of the choices in which we make it harder for us to find a good man. Think about it. Listen to me. What I mean by that is like, okay, I just saw a girl on a post. She had tattoos everywhere. Tattoos on her face, tattoos going down her neck. And so it's not to say you can't have tattoos. No shout, no hate to nobody who has tattoos. I have tattoos, but you can't see them. But my point is, so what kind of man do she think she's going to get? And she has tattoos on her face. Now, she's not thinking, but now you actually limited the amount of men in which probably you are desirable to because you have tattoos on your face. Okay, take it a step further. So now let's just say we dress, skimpy, or, we the type of woman who wear, see-through clothes. Now let's just say we compound it. Now let's say you're a woman with tattoos on her face and you wear see-through clothes. Now what do you think the percentage of you finding a good man is? Probably it lowers. Then let's compound it again. So now let's just say you're a woman who has tattoos on her face, you wear skimpy clothing, and you speak to men in a masculine manner. So let's just say you don't have a soft tone, you don't have a soft demeanor, you're basically loud, you call him names, and you're disrespectful. So now let's just say if you have all three of those, What percentage of men do you think you are desirable to? See, that's what it is. We can do whatever we want. Like we'll say, like, a man can't tell me how to dress. A man can't tell me this. A man can't tell me that. I wear my hair this. I wear my... What we don't understand is that makes us less desirable. That's just a fact, and it's okay. That's just like men. I mean, we might not be... A lot of men aren't desirable to us. But what we don't understand is each time we are doing what we want to do, we are making it less men in which we are desirable to. So, because I'm like, why does all these women be like, they can't find a good man? And then it dawned on me, because I'm like, oh, that's why. You know, because they got a lot of factors in which makes it harder because they are less desirable to a greater amount of men. That's just like, so the one girl. If you are, listen, first off, if you address men as NIGGAs, what? So you think you're gonna get a good man, and that's how you even speak to men? That's how you refer to them? Yeah, you're getting NI.
Okay, let's slow down real quickly. Particularly, I think. Let me see if I can. No, I don't see it. So this woman was talking about society has psychologically programmed women to be desperate unknowingly. So basically, you try to manipulate. It's like, say for instance, there was a woman and she was a single mother, I think, in one of the shows on Tonight's Conversation. She was cute, but she had 2 kids and she had a lot of bills. I think $6,000 in bills or something like that. She had a man paying for her bills, but the man didn't care anything about her feelings. From what she said, he doesn't really consider my feelings like that. What do I do? Should I leave him? Which way should I go? This is the type of person that she's talking about. These types of women, they're not psychologically manipulated anything. Well, and another point she brought up is, well, you know, they feel like because of their lack of confidence, they have to manipulate the situation to get in the situation. Once again, the single mother, they have to manipulate the situation because they feel like they're not enough. That is because, wait for it, they're not enough. These modern women are not enough. They have a lot of problems. They come with a lot of baggage. Once again, we go back to the example of the single mother with multiple kids and $6,000 in bills. That man has to pay. Well, he doesn't have to. He does it because he wants to, right? He probably thinks that she's cute, and he slide in there. So I got a little money. I'm gonna pay for $6,000. Pay $6,000 for your bills and stuff like that. And when they asked her in the crowd, "Why do you stay?" "Oh, well, I got bills to pay. If the nice guy or the good guy ain't gonna pay these bills, then I'm gonna stay with this guy." So why are you even asking the question, should you stay with this guy? Why are you even asking that question? This moves from I don't think that I'm good enough to this. I don't have the skills, and I'm not gonna develop the skills. This moves from, well, you know, I am actually good enough in order to be able to do this. I'm just not doing it because I'm lazy, to I can't do it because I don't have any skills. Even if I wanted to do it, I can't, because this is the way that I've operated for years. And so now when it's time for me to get out of a situation that's not favorable to me mentally and emotionally, I can't move because I got to pay these bills. These bills got to get paid. I can't move. So the man talked to me any kind of way. That's what I'm saying. Once again, we're going to come right back onto accountability. We're going to hit it right on the nose again. We sit up here and try to look at it from a psychological perspective, from a mental perspective, from a spiritual perspective, whatever perspective you want to look at it from. These modern women need to take accountability for the position that they get themselves in. It'd be one thing if they were, okay, I messed up. Dang, let me go ahead and fix that. Okay, I messed up. But these modern women take pride in messing up. And then their calling card is, I'm cute. So he gonna like looking at me. He gonna get me out of it. And if push come to shove, really come to shove, Then I'll give him a little bit. I'll let him taste a little bit. And I go on about my way. But that means I got to dump him and move on to the next. Only when I am in a super desperate position, I'll go back to him. That's the way they're moving out here. Man.
The day a man stops chasing is the day something inside him finally clicks. The day he stops being the first to text is not a game. It is not him trying to make you miss him. It is a man who has woken up to his own worth. He was not always like this. He used to be the one keeping the conversation alive on his own, replying within minutes to somebody who would take days. Always free, always there, always trying. He believed if he kept showing up, eventually he would be picked. Then it hit him. People do not protect what they can have for free. Being available all day, every day, was not making him important. It was making him forgettable. Even the softest heart hardens after enough rejection. He found more peace in silence than he ever found in trying to win somebody over. He stopped forcing connection because attention you have to beg for is not really attention at all. So he stopped saving spots in his life for people who treated him like a second option. They will tell themselves he changed. He just stopped being the only one putting in effort. He took his time back. He shut the door. He raised his bar. Do not blame him. He did not vanish. He just outgrew the version of himself that begged.
Shut up. I'm not the father, Don.
You're not the father?
Not the father, Don.
Congratulations. I've never seen a man so happy. If you've ever seen a man walking out of a DNA test figuring out that he's not the father, you'll see a happy man.
So a lot of people are upset with this guy for celebrating his win against fraternity fraud. You can see some of the comments above me, and they're saying that he needs to make better decisions in the women that he's choosing, and how if dads don't want to be fathers, then they should use condoms. And I'm just like, that's besides the point. It's not about men not wanting to be fathers. It's about men not wanting to father kids that aren't theirs. So I don't know why the world seems to be okay with paternity fraud. It could be because some of y'all have this vision that women are always oppressed. In every scenario they're oppressed, and so it shouldn't matter if the man's the father or not, as long as somebody else is helping mom with the baby. Paternity fraud is not something that we need to take seriously. And hey, you got the DNA test done. He should celebrate his win. I'm with him. Jump up for joy, man, and get married and have kids later on in life whenever you're ready. Or maybe you don't have kids, or maybe you don't get married and have kids, because if you get married and have kids and those kids don't turn out to be yours, that might not matter depending on what state you're in. So the choice is up to you guys, man. You want to get married, don't want to get married, don't want to have kids, you don't have to have kids. Take care of yourself.
Guys, women will make subtle clues that she wants you to hit on her. These are the things to look out for. Listen to my words on this, and if you need help breaking toxic patterns, my link is in my bio. A woman will look at you. First off, right now, nobody makes eye contact anymore. So if you see her making eye contact and holding eye contact for a couple of seconds, it's because she's doing it intentionally. If a woman puts herself in the vicinity of wherever you're at, it's because she's choosing to be there, hoping that you're going to hit on her. So let's say you're at one side of the gym and she sees you. All of a sudden, she's 2 machines down from you. And she's making eye contact. She wants you to hit on her. If you're at the bar and there's a couple seats open on the other side of the bar or over by you and she chooses to be by you, there's a reason. My freaking favorite is when a woman gets loud. All of a sudden, she starts talking 3 pitches higher so that you can hear that she is single. And men don't pick up on this. So even if she's talking to one of her friends like, I can't believe I've been single for 6 months, and she's saying it really loud, it's because she wants you to hear it. Guys, you don't even know. Women are trying. They really are. And you might not think that they are, but they're doing these subtle things, hoping you would pick up on it. And I know it's the art of communication through body language, but you gotta pick up on these cues.
I'm not anti-women, but I am definitely anti-injustice. Like you said, a paternity test, it may hurt. It may be like, ooh, you feel like you don't trust me. But the legal ramifications of taking care of a child that you thought was yours, I don't like when anybody is deceived and played on and tricked into doing something or tricked out of something. And I've seen it too many times. One on TV, Maury, the paternity court, but also in real life of women who will carry on a lie for 10, 15, 30 years, all the while knowing that that was not that man's child. Now, if a man wants to raise another woman's child, by all means, that's something that he agrees to. He knows what he's getting into. But to love a child, attach yourself to a child, provide for a child that you believe is yours and really is not, I feel like that's like a stab to the heart. Like, that's gut-wrenching. At least allow him to take care of that child knowing that it's not his child. That's his choice. But when you take somebody's choice away and now they legally have to take care of this child because they were deceived into it, that's wrong. That's injustice.
10 years ago, I used to go to the gym and feel like a girl training amongst men. Now, I go to the gym and feel like a man training amongst girls. Where are the men? Well, we normalize this like dad bod thing. We have these skinny dudes. Like, can we make masculinity great again? Where are the men? Where are the men?
Girl, what is wrong with you? Why are you walking around the gym like it's some kind of meat packing plant, talking about like, none of these sausages look good enough for me? You pay $25 a month for a gym membership and you think you're just entitled to some kind of like Magic Mike show or something? Also, I'll take things that would never survive the gender swap test for $500, Alex. Could you imagine a dude just walking around the gym filming random women and being like, oh, back in the day, women used to be so much more in shape. They used to be so trim and curvy, and now they're really letting themselves go. Ugh. You know, not every man is training to go to war and right? Like, some of them just want better cardiovascular health. Why does Ryan need to be 200 pounds of pure muscle for you? He works at a desk in accounting. This is weird. You're weird. Men are not your show ponies. Bad entitled gym brat. Bad.
The reason why so many beautiful, well-rounded women cannot find a partner is because a lot of parents failed their sons. My mom on a walk had asked me, we know so many beautiful, well-rounded girls. Why are they single? I responded with, your generation was so hard on the girls. Like, we literally had to be made out of glass. We couldn't afford to make mistakes. Failure was not in our vocabulary. Like, we literally had to be perfect. So now you have this large group of women that are almost like overperforming. So now you have this large group of women who know how to take care of a home, know how to take care of themselves, are family oriented, but they also have the ambition of a man and are career focused. Overall, they are performing at standards and expectations that are so high because back home, specifically, my parents are from India. Back home, women weren't granted the same privileges and rights back home in India. So my mom still had me performing the gender norms of a good Indian daughter, but I was encouraged to basically utilize the freedom that I had. Parents failed their sons. Because while so much pressure is being put on women, nothing was put on their boys. They were and are still coddled. They're not independent, meaning that they're codependent on their parents for multiple things. Also have no sense of leadership. They're consistently relying on a system for guidance and direction instead of building like that inner voice and trying to take initiative to build their life. That's why women are single. Because not only did we have to fight for the life that we wanted, it was completely possible to do that. Though it was hard, it was possible. But there are men that don't want to utilize this opportunity to better themselves and like have dreams and have goals. Instead, they're looking for a partner to be a replacement for their mom.
I came out as bisexual last year, and since then, I have been dating women. And what I found very fascinating is that the more I date women, the more I find myself understanding heterosexual men. Let me explain.
What do you mean?
I was on a first date with a girl who asked me out, by the way. This is relevant because when the check came, she never once made a move to pay. Not even like the fake, let me reach for my purse move. And though I don't mind paying on a date, part of me felt like, the offer would have been nice. I was also a little taken aback that she didn't even say thank you. And I never heard from her again.
Still not a
surprise. It really made me feel like she just asked me out so she could have a free dinner. And the moment I thought that, I was like, oh my god, I sound like all of my guy friends right now. And my argument against why guys should pay for dates has always been like, Look, girls take hours to get ready. Our investment is looking really
We
nice.
take hours too.
Makeup, clothes,
Maybe.
that costs money too. But we were both girls in this situation. We both took hours to get ready, so I definitely felt slighted. Exhibit B.
You know, I want you to understand that men actually know the cues. They're aware of what you be doing when you want to get a man's attention. What modern women do nowadays is they switch up. They switch it up. If they decide that they don't like the way a man's shoes look, they don't like the way he walks, then they switch up when he gets over there. Oh no, I was looking over there at the TV. And then the man questions, I thought that she was for sure giving me a sign. She was. But she decided to change her mind when you're over there, when you were like 2 feet from her. You were almost in her face. When you opened your mouth, she immediately changed her mind. And she acted like she didn't call you over there with her subtle cues. Men are aware of what it looks like when a woman wants to approach. It's just that modern women don't commit. They don't ever want to be in a position to where they have to lose in a situation. And what I mean is lose. Well, yeah, I did call him over here. And I'm not interested, but I'll go ahead and have a conversation with him. I can't expect a drink out of him, and I don't, it's awkward for me. Instead, they'll just act like they never called you over there and endure 10 seconds versus, it could be 5-10 minute conversation, it could be a 20-minute conversation, but they don't want to endure that. Modern women don't want to endure anything. They don't want to endure, okay, I really don't like the guy, so I'll pay for my half. So there's no hard feelings. They still want you to pay, because modern women don't want to take a loss. That's why men are staying away. That's why they're not approaching. Like I said, they know the signs, but modern women have gotten accustomed and comfortable not taking a loss ever. The man has to always eat it. Oh, I didn't call you over here. Oh no, I have to look stupid as a man. Okay, well, as a man, you have to look stupid. So go and try with somebody else. It's always, and then it moves from looking stupid to being roasted and put online, and then being called a creep. And then your integrity is questioned, and then your character is questioned, and then your behavior is questioned at places that you frequent. You think a man's gonna go through all of that just to be entertainment for a woman? Probably not.